and I can easily pick staff and get things done, import it to my country, is it going to be the same cost and make money? So when that happened, a lot of people started losing their job. Companies started shifting, and when they started losing their job, they could not pay for the house, and because they could not pay for the house, their their property was foreclosed. So about 82,000 families were affected, even as we speak now. So those people that cannot pay for their property again, the bank had to take the property from them. They had to leave that place and get a rented apartment. That rented apartment, when they pay rent, they are not paying to own the property. So, but when they are paying $4,000 every month, $4,000 every month is like 600,000. Yeah, Nigerian money. So, but now, the same property, they can be paying $1,000 or $800 every month for the same property, but they are not paying to own. Now, some of them, there's what we call direct 800. The government is paying for them. So you don't, as a landlord, you don't have any business with the person living there. Obama is who you are talking to, because your account is credited straight from the government. Now, what now happens is that they want people with cash, because those properties were built by developers, sold to banks, banks sold it to insurance companies, and all of them keep increasing the value unnecessarily. Now, when the whole system failed, what they need is people that has cash. So what the Arabs are doing is that they are moving in heavily. The last, what was it called? Some of the buildings, you just see some of the Arabs coming with about 800,000, terrible money. I mean, when you are saying, this property is $50,000, so put your bid, and they are saying, okay, I'll pay 51, and then somebody say pay 52, I'll pay 59. Any objection gets closed. And you see, apart from that, most of the richest guys in America, they don't want their country sold. They are fighting seriously. They don't want what happened to the United Kingdom to happen to them. So what this guy, Warren Buffett, did was that he went to Canada, went to arrange a lot of Canadian banks to come in and buy a lot of those properties. And I can tell you authoritatively that a lot of Nigerians are moving in, Nigerian politicians, you will see them there. Many. Some have 10, some have 18. And you see some of those properties you can collect $1,000 every month. Let us say you buy a property for like 8 million or 7 million or 9 million and you collect $1,000 every month. $1,000 in Nigerian money is how much? Okay, let's even say it's 150,000. That's how it will be coming every month. Every month, that's how the money will come. So the issue of what's it called? Increase, when they've done what they call fiscal cleft. That fiscal cleft is expected to make their remaining 6 from June or July to boost their economy. They have to have excess of about $10 billion. That's what they are expected to have. Now, looking at that critically, that is expected to boost the economy. So that means the property you bought at 8 million is expected to go to something like 22 million. So ordinarily, the prices of those properties are still coming up. And now that it's at rock bottom, you are still getting rent. And then you can get that rent up to a level that there's a way we can calculate it. I think bankers and financial people will know that here. You can get the rent, the value of the rent you will have gotten for a certain number of years will be the total amount you used to buy the property. I think by the time you get, in a year, okay, in a year you will have gotten about 1.8. Okay, 1.8 divided by 8 million. That should be like about 8 or 6. So in about 6 years, you have covered your money back, and then the value will have appreciated. And I can tell you authority, you will see all these people that you see on TV, and so fighting the PDP for ACN, you will see them there. I could remember the last time I treated the issue on the radio. Some people refused to pick my call again. Why? Because that's when they are making money. And why should you say it on the radio? So what am I trying to bring out? What I'm trying to bring out is a good way for you to invest. So what we do with that, people that don't have the 8 million, the 10 million, the 7 million, we now bring people together. Okay, you have 1 million, bring it. You have 500, bring it. You have 250, bring it. You have 1 million, bring it. We now assemble everything together, get a property. Then when the rent comes every month, everybody is credited. So when you are credited every month, the remaining 2 months, because you pay tax, one is used to pay tax, one is used to pay charges. Now, the charges of moving money from here to there, and from moving money from there to here. So 1 month salary, 1 month's rent, you take care of that, and 1 month's rent, you take care of taxes, and everybody's smiling to the bank. And in the process, we've had people that from there they went for their own, because they got 2 portions, they got 3 portions, they got 4 portions, then they got a whole property. So it's actually something that you can look at. And the beauty of it is that if you get a property that is around, let us say for example, around 20 million, it has the capacity of becoming as much as 80 million, 100 million. That's the beauty of that. Now, depending on the property you get, really, if you get up to like 7 property and both of them are able to get in the realm of, let's say, 128 million or 100 million in Nigerian currency, and you have about 5 or 6 of that, and then you sell it right there and then because you find buyers, and you put the money together, it can ordinarily give you a green card. Now when you get the green card, you can now decide to invest the money again and then continue the property whatever you are doing, and then shuttle between here and there. So that's another beauty that comes with investing in those type of property. So as God blesses you, these are opportunities you need to look at, you need to consider, and there are great ways of making income that does not affect your job. You are sure that okay, every month this particular income is coming in for me from this particular source. So I have been treating what makes income to come in for you without affecting your job. That's what I've been treating all the while. And then I've treated investment. That those ones are just investment that does not require your presence there. Now, the other one that I will mention is what comes from your talent. Now, if you look at the scripture very well, the Bible spoke about the beauty, or it said the gift of a man to make a room for him. And that is to say that if you can develop what is inside you very well, it can also be a money spinner. And making it a money spinner is something that is very easy. Some people can cook very well. Some people can cook so well. You know, I don't know if you have read that passage before. That was when I knew that pepper soup had anointing. When Sarah, they came to visit Abraham. Say, my Lord, don't go like that now. Just take something now. Okay, just take water. And from taking water, they said, take pepper soup now. They kill a cow. And when Sarah finished preparing, who prepared this pepper soup? By this time next year. And then the rest was story. Now, what I want to bring out is that some people are so anointed like that, and they can cook. It can be, I've seen people that have ACCA drop the certificate and face cooking. Why? Because there's a lot of money there. Some people can write very well. There were a lot of period that I was writing, and when I write, I'm not paid for it. But a particular time came that if I had to write an A4 page for a media house, I'm paid not less than 25,000 just for writing. And over time, I just learned how to write what makes people read all through without dropping the paper till the end of the story. And I discovered that it's a skill on its own. There are people in the United States that are called copywriters. That's what they do. They write sales copy. Nigeria is moving to that level. After a while, all these radio advert, TV advert, they will be too expensive, and people won't go there again. They will follow the Facebook way, the Twitter way, and all of those other advert medium. And many people will be online. Many people. And that's already happening. You see the BB, you see the iPad, you see the iPhone, you see all of that. Now, you will start seeing advert that way now. So most people will not do radio and TV again. Because TV and radio will ordinarily go up. They will keep going high. Why? Because most of the, if nothing happens to the electricity, the cost of maintaining, diesel has already been deregulated long ago. Many people don't know that anyway. Diesel has been deregulated, so the price can be as high. I started buying diesel at 85 naira. As we speak now, diesel is around 160. Now, that means diesel can go to as high as 500 per liter. And the cost of production of a TV or a radio house will naturally go up. So when people want to do adverts, they will adhere to all this technology, whatever. And one of the major things that will make you to sell is the ability to convince the person that is reading whatsoever you have written. Because you will not be able to speak. You will only be able to write. So the work of a copywriter comes in. And then the ability to present the copy as if you are listening to the person is going to be very important. And that's what you see in America, very common. So when you develop your writing skill to the level that makes people to see you as a very good copywriter, you discover that you start attracting money. Now, I mentioned ebook the other time. I think let me just give a little bit of more explanation on that. Now, one of the major things that you can do, I forgot to mention this, for those that want to put their book on Amazon, if you've written any book and you don't have a place to publish it, you can go to createspace.com, and when you get to createspace.com, you can read their terms and conditions, and then by the time you go through the terms and conditions, you can be able to upload your book that you have not published, or you don't have money to publish yet, and it will be on Amazon. And to a very good extent, they can pay you with Nigerian money. So both your hard copy can be there, and the one on Kindle can also be there. That's for those that are writing. But I need to also say that there are so many talents within us. All you just need to do is locate it and strategically look at whosoever is using that talent before. Then when you locate whosoever is using it before, learn under the person for a while, and then tends to, see how you could use your own in that line and develop it as well. Now, let me quickly mention this one, which is going to be the next one. That's development of skill. I've been mentioning streams of income. Then we've treated job, we've treated investment, then we've spoken about talent, then skill, learning of skill. Now, you see, it's only today that you see a lot of graduates that prefer to carry portmanteaus around till they are able to get a job by force. If you don't get a job, maybe what God is saying to you is to start one. So why not try and hear his voice? I could remember when I was training some coppers some years ago, and I said, some of you may not get a job. He said, you get it in Jesus' name. You may not get a job in the next 2-3 years. So Whether you reject it or not, let's talk some reality here. I'm sorry. So the people that rejected it seriously, that was how it happened. They didn't get job immediately. And you know, I was conducting a personal research and I discovered that an average graduate that finished now, if you put 10 together, I just finished NYSC, 8 of them will get job 3-4 years after. It's only 2 that gets job immediately. And it's becoming a trend now that, okay, when you finish, you still wait for like 3 years or 2 years before you get a good job. So when that one happens, part of what you are supposed to do is to learn a skill. You can learn tailoring. In between the period that you are planning to get a good job and you are trying to manage somewhere, you can learn tailoring. The suit and the clothes we are wearing, some people saw it. It did not drop from heaven. Some people saw it and that is why we can put it on. And you can so much develop yourself that your product will be sought after. You can learn shoemaking and put a brand to it. The shoe we are wearing, some people made it. And it's not everybody that will easily get a job. So if you don't get a job, don't think God hates you. God did not hate you. Maybe He has something bigger for you. So all you just need to look at is, what skill can I learn? Because one of the basic way of breaking the hold of financial poverty is for you to get at least, out of all the sources of income I've mentioned, you must get at least a source of income. At least money is coming in for you, little by little, little by little. No matter how little is this. And that's why I like women. They don't like to sit idle. Even if it is 2,000 naira, whatever, they want to sell it. They are enterprising naturally. So, if you see a woman that say, I don't like selling anything, it is well. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that there are so many skills you can learn out these days, and then it's going to be of help to you. And as you learn them, you will discover that, you will discover that you are able to take a lot of all these things into practice, and they can all be a source of income for you. Because let's take for example someone that went to school to learn studied mechanical engineering. When you finish, you decide to go to somebody that knows how to fix Mercedes-Benz very well. You know, most people are, what do you mean? I'm in PSC with that. University of Ife. How can I go and meet that man? Ife. Great Ife. Now, if within a period of 1 year, you are able to learn some of the basic skills. Because I could remember when we were learning computer in school, and we were talking about programming. It was when I left school several years after that I have an idea of what programming looks like. It was like Greek. And I could remember my computer book there, I have to cram it in. Why? Because you're not feeling it. So when you pass through school at times, you may not feel some of these things. And you discover that some of our professors, when their vehicle breaks down, they still call mechanical, but even though they are lecturing mechanical engineering, they still call them to come and fix it. Nothing stops you from learning 1 or 2 things. And then when you learn that, now, the beauty of handwork is because a time is coming in the cycle, in the economic cycle, that there will not be employment again. The only thing that will remain will be what your hand can do for you. Go and write it. What I'm saying now, go and write it down. It will start happening in those developed countries. And after a while, it will move here. And already, if you go to places like South Africa, go to places like UK, go to places like America, go to all of those places, you know, most of their vehicles, they used to buy it brand new. Then they give them insurance, then they start paying little by little. If the thing have any fault, they take it there. Now, if you start getting to a point where they cannot pay for those vehicles again, when they buy a new one, if anything spoiled there, they will want to fix it. And trying to fix it, what will they do? They will call somebody that knows about it. There's a mechanic boy that left Nigeria, he's in South Africa now. He has one of the best workshops there. All you just need to do is, what you are doing in Nigeria, just do it there. Because there are so many people that cannot afford to take their vehicle to the servicing company that is shining glass and tiles on the floor, and then they will collect all the rants that you have ever made in your life. So you set up that small center and things are running. Now when you now tell them that, okay, I have a BSc in this now, that's why I'm doing it. People want to listen to you. They want to do business with you. Why? You've gone to school and you are doing this. So it's one of the things I will encourage us to consider seriously. Then apart from that, if you learn skills and you are still in your paid job, you can actually set up an outfit in that line. Okay, let's say for example, let's say use the mechanic, whatever. Now, if somebody now, the person now gets a job with Chevron, let's say for example, he read mechanical engineering, gets a job with Chevron, and he has learned all the whatever in the mechanic stuff. It is something that he can set up a center that can run on his own. Why? Because he knows what it takes to fix a vehicle and how to go about it. And it's not just going to be a conduit pipe by which money will be flowing through. I don't know if someone is with me. So ordinarily, you discover that you can develop a source of income when you can learn a skill. And when you develop several sources of income, you make things easier for yourself, because from all the four I've said, I've mentioned those four because you need at least 4 sources of income for you to be able to make money. Now there are some skills that are very, very simple, very, very simple. Let's say for example, you find yourself in another country and the certificate, the BSc, the MSc, the PhD that you have obtained here is not working there, because Nigerian certificate is classified as a third world certificate, so you cannot use it to work in most of those developed countries. The best university in the world is Yale University, followed by Harvard University. So if you are in America, they consider your certificate as first class. Then if you are in Europe, second class. Then if you are in developed world, third class. So even if you have a first class in the third world, you cannot use it there. Even if you are a professor here, unless you are given an invitation of friends, you cannot say, okay, I want to get a job with you. Unless there's an offer where they need you specially. So something that, okay, I've learned everything in Nigeria and I want to come and work here, I'm not learning anything from you. No, they don't do it. So I have said all of that to say that there may be points where your certificate will not be relevant. Then what will matter most is what you can do with your, so it's very good for you to learn a skill. The number of skills I know very well. So that's by the way. Now, finally, let me mention the issue of, Pastor told me that I should explain a bit further about the issue of the car. Now, this is the way it works. I don't know if we can, I can't use the projector. I would have loved to show us really. That's what I wanted to do. If we pick 2, for example, if we pick 2, maybe it's going to make it a bit more real. If you can connect to the net for me and we can view it here, go to auctionexports.com. Now, if you can write that one down. Now, if you get to auctionexports.com, there are about 4 types of cars there that you can buy. There is salvage cars, there is used cars, there is new cars, and there are parts. Now, if you are considering salvage cars are dented cars. Maybe they are driving on the road, someone's crashed the body or something happened, they call them salvage cars. Those cars, their engine is still good, everything is still good, maybe it was one door that was affected. They sell those type of cars. Then you have the ones that are clean. The owner has used it well, no problem. He just wants to change the vehicle, and that's why he's selling it. Then the third ones are brand new cars. Now, if you are looking at salvage car, for example, that's what most sellers that are here or in Baghdad, that's what they do. They can buy a Toyota Camry for as low as 100,000 if it is a salvage car. If they buy that for 100,000 and it is only, let's say, the front part, like the last one I saw, the front part was crushed, they bring it into Nigeria. When they bring it into Nigeria, the first place you could go to is workshop. While they are coming from there are other ones like that they will buy. Those ones are the place where they will remove the parts to put in the other one. By the time they fix it and do everything, maybe they have spent about 200,000 to 300,000 to fix a Toyota Camry, and they sell at the going rate here. So when they buy a salvage car, they fix it. The price they even sell used car, which is normally called tokunbo, that is brought here, is usually even cheaper. Not to even talk of the salvage price. I mean the salvage cars. So the price they buy the tokunbo cars are cheap on their own. The salvage own is extraordinarily cheap. So there are two sides to it. You can decide that, okay, I will do salvage. People that do salvage do parts. Doing salvage and doing parts goes together, because ordinarily when you take about 1.5 million Nigerian money, or you take about, let's say, 500,000 Nigerian money, with salvage cars you can buy like, depending on the type of cars you're looking at, you can buy as much as five cars with salvage cars. So depending on what you're actually looking at. Now most of these high-end cars like Range Rover Sport, like Honda, like all of those vehicles that if anything happened to their parts, you know, there are some cars that the side mirror is 300,000. Some people did not answer me, they are smiling. I mentioned it, they are smiling. The side mirror alone is 300,000. And one downfall boy crushed them. All the English he has never had, he will drop that. Okay, so those type of vehicles, if you get them in the salvage value, you can easily remove the parts. That's what some of the companies that are doing car servicing, that's what they do. So when they say that the part is not available, that they will get the part from abroad, they are going to buy a salvage car, they remove the parts, bring it, you know, they will see another part they can use, and then use it. So most times they are able to cut costs. Okay, help me go to, okay, it's only this place. Help me go to the down part where it's showing the year. Where it's showing the year. Have you seen the year, sir? Okay, help me pick from, let's pick a CRV. Please give me a year. I want you to give me a vehicle you know the price in Nigeria. The price, the vehicle you know the price in Nigeria. 2010 what? CRV is how much in Nigeria? Is how much? It's about 8.5, right? Okay? 3.5. CRV 2010. Okay, let's see Honda. There's a place I will ask you to choose model. Choose model Honda. Then it will ask you the type. In another box, you just choose CRV. Then it will ask you the year. Pick 2000 and let's pick 2000 from 2008 to 2011. So in there we find 2010. It's about 3.5 Nigerian money. Okay, let us see there. So what happens is that